Gotta put all these together. 160 of them. All right, so we do now have a slight issue. You see these two prongs here? That don't go through there. I'll go upstairs and I'll get one. I'll show you guys how they're supposed to go through. And yeah, I got another probably 80 upstairs that I'm gonna put together for a spare set of nozzles. But the company that I ordered these from, FDS, they're going to ship me out a new one today, and it will be here first thing in the morning tomorrow, hopefully whenever UPS comes, and then that way I can put them all on, put them together, and get them on the sprayers and ready to go. But yeah, this is the wrong cap. The nozzle's correct. So this is for dicamba. It has that little hole right there. That's an air induction nozzle. These you can run from 30 to 63 psi, or on the nozzle pressure wise, and you can run anywhere from, I think it's 7 to 20 mile an hour, which whenever you're spraying dicamba you only run 10, but whenever you're not spraying dicamba you can go ahead and you can run 20 with these nozzles. That's what makes these nozzles so special. They're about $7 a piece plus the caps and all. It's about $8.50. We also got to get, you can see these little O-rings right there. Them little O-rings, they go on top of this in there to seal it off. And I'll show you guys that here in a minute once I get the other nozzles. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put these back in the box, and then they're shipping me a shipping label with my nozzles that actually fit tomorrow, and then that way I can send these back and get these all put together. But we love FDS. We buy a lot of stuff from, buy a lot of parts from, especially for the sprayers, because they're actually really cheap and they're really quick. Usually, sometimes they're quicker than deer at getting stuff here. So things like this we usually just get from FDS, but certain parts we can't get from them, like things like, oh, I can't think of the name of it. Certain fittings and certain pumps and stuff like that we have to get from deer. So but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go upstairs, I'll get the other ones I got, and then we'll go ahead and put them all together. So this is our parts room slash paperwork room slash storage room slash tool room, whatever you want to call it. We got nozzles back here. See, here's Ross's Y drops that he absolutely hates. Yeah, so here's some of these caps, that's what I need, and then I got some nozzles right here. So I'll go ahead and I'll take some of these caps. I'll probably take that whole entire box in there, and then I'll sit down and I'll go through and put them all in, put what I got here in. I'm gonna keep them as a spare. The only problem with these is they're the same air induction nozzle, but you can't run as high of a pressure with them and be in legal range. So you gotta run a little bit slower with them, and they have a slimmer fan. So these ones have like an 80-degree fan, whereas the ones I got a 110-degree fan, I think. But the main thing that they want you to do with dicamba is they want to keep your droplet size as big as possible. That's why they want you to keep that pressure low, because when you get more pressure flowing, your droplet gets oh my, a lot of talking for the day, I'm wore out. But that droplet gets big or gets smaller as your pressure gets higher. So the lower the pressure, the better you are. Slow and low, low and slow is the saying that I always go by. These ones here will keep me busy until probably tomorrow. This is not an easy process, and it takes a while to do. So after you get done with them, that's what they'll look like. You gotta take and pop these ones out. Probably get my pliers out here in a second, but you'll take this out. This is your grommet. This is what seals up the cap. Take this, stick it in, twist it around a little bit, get it to fit in. Then it should look like that. Take your grommet, shove it in, and I only got to do that another like 100 times. And make sure it seals up in there nice. And then now you got a working nozzle. That's all it takes. And like I said, guys, these are just going to be spares. These are extras that we had left over from last year. We have to get new dicamba nozzles every year, which sucks because they're really expensive. But there's nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can do is just go ahead and keep doing what we're doing. So yeah, that is the long story short of it. I need to get my pliers out so I can pull these apart a little bit easier and quicker. But yeah, I got about 60 of them here, and then I got another 160 of them right there that I can use. So let's get after it. So also, today is my birthday. I don't want to call Ross again, but yeah, this is a nice, easy job to do on my birthday. It's not outside. It's not blaring hot. It's just kind of relaxing. My fingers might hurt after doing this, but if it works, I guess, right? But yeah, I'm gonna try and do a couple of these. At least do a couple bags of them. Get them done, get it out of the way, and then that way I don't have to worry about it later. I know that I will still have to go through and do these other 160 whenever I get the caps for them, which they should be here in the morning, and tomorrow it's supposed to rain again. So if it rains again, we'll be shut down again. We got 2 inches of rain last night. I'd say just about 2 inches, 2.5 inches of rain scattered all across all of our ground. So yeah, it's not ideal, but we still got a job to do. So all right, so I've also been asked a lot here recently about like where all we farm at. We go a lot of places, so we do cover a lot of miles. I'm going to show you here in a minute on a map, but first of all, I'm going to show you guys this. So this is an old picture of our farm. Try and get the glare out of it there. Here's another one. Old picture of the farm. And then this one here is of a cornflower plant. And my uncle used to be a partner in it. It's up in Worthington, Indiana. It's north of us. He used to be a partner in, I think he was a partner at least, in the cornflower plant. He passed away in, I think it was 12. It might have been 13 or 14. But he passed away, and then we sold out of it, and then the entire place sold to another company, and now they're doing something else out of it. It's some kind of distributor now. And then here's the farm now. There's a better picture of it in here. I gotta find a better picture of it. Yeah, right there. There's the farm now. Since them pictures in there, as you can tell, a lot of things have changed over the years. They was probably taken 40 or 50 years ago with a plane. I mean, I know for a fact these two was taken with a plane. And then that one was taken with a plane too. And then I took them two out there with my drone. But yeah, over time things have changed. See, this is where my dad grew up at, in this house here. And then now there's the grain elevator right there. That's the old shop out back. Cattle barn and hog barn. And then this is my grandma and grandpa's house, or was my grandma and grandpa's house. And then this is our seed shed still, and this is where the office is. And as you can tell, we've expanded on the office. And then this here is the shop, and the shop burnt down in 11 or 12, and we rebuilt it right after that, built it bigger. We went from like an 80 by 100, or an 80 by 60 to like 100 by 120. Our shop's huge. So now we'll go ahead and we'll show you some maps here. All right, so I got Google Maps pulled up here. So this is our ground in Robinson, and this is our ground in Decker Chapel, basically. So that is, according to this, it's about 60 miles. And then our main farm is right in there, in that area. That's our main farm. We got some other fields just around here. or a bunch of fields throughout here. Down here we got the pump house in this area where you can see the cursor at, and then that's where the blood farm is, our big field. And then down here is where we have another big plot of land. We farm down there beside Newton's, Ivers, and that's pretty much it down there, and Horrell's. Ivers are down there by us. They also did start a YouTube channel, so I'll put something up there for them. And then Russellville here, we got ground right there on 33 and Birds Road. We got a lot of ground out throughout there. And then we got some up at Heathville towards the Wabash River. And then we got some more on this corner here. It's the Van Gilder farm. We got some down here in Flat Rock, Duncanville, and then basically over here by New Hebron area. So and then we go down to Bridgeport. And on the backside of Bridgeport is where me and Dad do a lot of our dirt work at in the winter. So that's where me and Dad spend a lot of time at. So yeah, as you can see here, we are pretty spread out. From Robinson to the main farm, it's about, I'd say it's about 50 miles. Let's see, I think it's about right there. So it's about 40 miles from Robinson to the main farm here. We're all kinds of spread out. The only good thing about it really is you get to meet a lot of people. I've met a lot of really nice people throughout being around all this stuff, so it's great. The Robinson ground, we put all of our seed beans there mainly because from Robinson you can go to the McLeansboro Pioneer plant, which McLeansboro Pioneer plant is a straight shot from Robinson. You get out there on Route 1, you just head straight south, and it's right there. And then to go to I forget where the other plant is for the Syngenta beans. We just put them here at the farm because you just go out there, you get on 50 and you head 50 over, and then you're there. So yeah, we are pretty spread out. It's nice to be, but also at the same time it's not nice to be. And Robinson here is actually really close to Newton, and Newton is where our John Deere dealer has 4 parts to it. It has one in Vincennes, Newton, there's 2 others. I forget where the 2 others are, but we can go basically to all 4 of them and use our same codes and use our same discounts and all that stuff, and we can get the same prices on something that we can get here in Vincennes, at Newton, or at Olney or Oblong or Mattoon. So it's nice to be able to do that, and plus Newton's a little bit closer to Robinson, so we can always have a parts guy out there or a service guy out there if we need it. Alright, so back to work on this. Had to let my fingers rest. I'm just going through and I'm popping all these out and putting them together. Why do I have to do this to myself? Why couldn't I have just bought the nozzles that were another like 50 cents more and not put them together? But whatever, it's fine. So yeah, they do sell different types of these nozzles. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to be using these caps for dicamba, so that's why I'm not using these caps for dicamba. The caps were only like another 50 cents more, so at the end of the day, you can use these old caps that might dry rot and break on you in a week, or get new ones. So I went ahead and got new ones. It was the wrong ones, so they will ship them out and they'll be here probably first thing tomorrow. If not, it'll be around noon. That's usually when the UPS guy comes, is around noon. So he'll come drop them off, and then I'll probably put them all together. These nozzles are very specific. You gotta have this nozzle. You gotta have this nozzle for dicamba. They are, or it's not really gotta be this exact nozzle. They have many different ones. You can look it up online and see what nozzles exactly you need to use. There is a bunch of different nozzles on there. You can get them straight from John Deere. You can get them from basically anywhere that you want. But these were just kind of what made more sense for us. These were a little bit cheaper than the ones they had at John Deere. And plus, like I said, I can replace these every day within the next day with FDS. And plus, I have a bunch of these already. What I thought about doing was going ahead and getting the Turbo Twin Jets, or T-Jets Turbo Twin Jet. And what them do is you can run instead of just having, let me get another one of these out here. Instead of just having this one fan, you then have two fans, kind of like that, but it's in the same nozzle, so it'll look kind of more like that, I guess. Yeah, it's hard to explain. I'll put a picture of it in here. And them turbo twin jets, the only problem with them was they was rather expensive, and we did not know if they would work or not. They are dicamba approved. They do have some that are, but it was just kind of a hard decision to make to spend that much money on them. So we didn't end up doing it. We just went ahead and stuck with what we know works, and we will go ahead and we'll keep using these. I might get a couple of them and put them on just to see how they work, get like 10 of them and see what they do. But chances are I'll probably just stick with these for the time being, because I mean, I don't really have that big of an issue with these. It's just I don't like how they spray. These are 100, and the ones I'm putting together right now are a 80-degree fan, and the ones I got here are 110-degree fan. That ups your spray pattern. Instead of having it go like this in a cone, it goes out into more of a triangle, I guess is the way to say it. I like having the wider fan, because the wider fan gives you more coverage, better coverage, and you can actually cover the crop at a lower boom height, which reduces your physical drift. If you guys understand that, then you understand that. But basically, if your boom's really high, then you're going to have a lot of drift. If your boom pressure is high, you're going to have a lot of drift. If your boom, or if your nozzle pressure is really high, you're going to have drift too. So you got to keep all that stuff as low as possible. And with our sprayers, keeping them at about 20 to 30 inches is about the best bet that we got, and that's usually where we try to keep them at. And with the 80-degree fan, you got to keep it right at 30, if not a little bit higher, which I don't like doing at all, especially around susceptible crops with dicamba. So yeah, coverage is the main thing. That's why we all run 15-inch nozzles, or 15-inch spacing on our nozzles, or at least we do. Some people might not. Some people like to run 20s, but we run 15 because then we can also use drops on corn. And yeah, it'd be nice to run drops on beans too. That'd be something interesting to do. But you'd have to have, for us now, you'd have to have 20-inch spacing. Well, Dad ended up making me and Xavier clean out the tracks on the excavator. We ain't got them completely clean, but we do have to. So you see this roller here on top? We got to put another one in over there, and then there's another one on the other side that's done the same thing. So we got to put two of them in. I'm not sure when they'll do that, but I'm sure the guys in the shop will end up doing it. I am going to go home. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Please remember to follow the farm Instagram, Facebook page. Use code RUSH100 for FBN. And I guess we'll see you guys in the next one.